love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running.
Hello and welcome to yet another edition of Up and In, where I share my thoughts pertaining to anything pertaining to youth sports, youth baseball. I generally answer questions that are sent in from parents from around the country. And today's question comes in from the great state of Delaware. And I wanted to make sure I answered this because I think this is really important for all sports and not just baseball. My name is Walter Beede, affectionately known here on YouTube as Baseball Lifer. It's due to my background as a player, as a coach, more importantly, as a dad. The question that was submitted today was from a mom who wanted to wanted advice with regard to how to help their two young sons with regard to perspective in youth sports and really the mindset and psychology behind the youth sports. And I really found this to be an interesting question and discussion that she presented. I want to make sure that you as a parent understand these are my thoughts, my opinions on how I raised my sons, and hopefully my sons raise our grandchildren. And this is a really sensitive subject for me. You know, my youngest son, Tyler, is a Major League Baseball player, and he has been successful at a very young age. And I think the wisest thing I ever did was to limit my interactions with him while he was participating in his sports. Now, I was always a fan. I was always on the sidelines. There were occasions where I got a little loud, but we have to understand the psychology is children do not want to let their parents down. You know, we can be their biggest fans, but we also can be their biggest hurdle to overcome because they get stressed and they look around and they read our body language and they hear our tone in our voice. And so it's important to be aware of this. And I would say the single biggest two areas that we can help our children thrive in these moments of athletic events. The first is understanding that those young athletes want to be around their friends and they want to have fun. To them, it's a competitive environment amongst their peers. They're not thinking of high school sports. They're certainly not thinking of college sports. They're engaged in their now, and that's all that they know. Until we as adults get confrontational and start taking things a little bit too seriously, that's when there begins to be a kind of a mental block or mindset that goes up with the kids. And it's become way over organized and not as organic as it probably should be. And so my advice here today, Teresa, is to really think of allowing your children to simply attack and have fun and not worry about outcomes. They're not trying to please anybody other than have fun themselves. And when they ask, how did we do today, Daddy? How did we do today, Mom? Did you have fun? Because that's really all that matters. If you had fun, that's great. The other main point that I want to bring up and I want to stress, we focus too much on the coaches and their backgrounds. And I'm not talking about from a safety or security perspective. That is something that's critical and very important. I'm talking more along the lines of knowledge. We have to go back to recognizing that at younger ages, the kids don't need a former major leaguer or a former pro soccer player. They're not going to get anything out of that at 5 to 10 or 12 years old. They're not getting what you think they're going to get out of that. Children at those younger ages, they want diversity. They want to run. They want to compete. They want to play basketball. They want to play hockey. They just want to have fun with their friends. So my advice to all parents is the sooner that we learn to get out of our children's way and allow them to kind of go off on their own. We can sit in the car. We can watch our phones. We can watch and listen to music. Those are the types of things that we should do. Let them go play. When they're in the heat of battle, try to be aware of what your body language is saying to your child. Try to listen to your tone of your voice. Avoid confrontations at all costs against other parents, against umpires, referees, any officials. avoid that, because essentially what you're telling your child is that they're not good enough, or there's an excuse why they're not winning and they're not doing well enough. For any people that have questions similar to this, I encourage you, it's not going to just be about baseball. We're going to talk about parenting from a coaching perspective, also from a parenting perspective. You know, my sons now are 31 and 29, so I want to share some of the experiences that we lived up here in the Northeast in the New England area. If you liked the content today, give us a thumbs up. It helps grow the channel. Leave us some comments. Also, subscribe to the channel. Keep sending your questions in, and I'll be sure to get to them each and every week. Thank you for joining us, and look forward to next time.